Graham Annesley blows the whistle and the Newcastle Knights start Winfield Cup action as far as Saturdays are concerned in 1988, and it's Ericsson who was tackled just outside the quarter line. First penalty, Annesley in quickly against Townsend.
We can expect the Newcastle forwards to do everything they can to slow Parramatta up, and as you mentioned a moment ago, David, the power in the Newcastle team is their forward pack. The backs are inexperienced and there could be a few holes in defence as the Parramatta speed in the backs gets moving.
This is probably the best Parramatta side we've seen on the field for over 12 months because they were decimated by injuries last year. They've got the ball on the halfway line and running deep and onto the ball is Linda. He's had a bit of a stint again in England in the off-season. His nose badly broken over there while playing for Castleford. That's Peter Ford, just inside Newcastle's territory. Mosley, Sterling, Kenny. Well picked up in the end by Michael Ericsson. Ericsson back inside Newcastle's territory.
Kenny was looking for a runner who wasn't there on the outside.
Now here's Linda again, getting very much involved early on. Last tackle against Parramatta. Good defence from Newcastle early on, and there's the kick from Sterling into the open spaces. And that's Rod Whittaker getting back, and he collected that ball safely. Only about 8 metres out from his own line. Frendo in a dummy half. That's Robbie Tew. And taking up the captain, Sam Stewart, who had a blinder in that Sevens victory over Manly earlier on in the season. That's the replacement, David Thorne. And the Knights kicking it away from Tony Chalmers and also the fullback Delroy, but Chalmers it is who gets the ball and banged into the ground there.
Good settled piece of play by Newcastle, no sign of early nerves.
Growth had a huge game last week when he came on against Illawarra. Delroy, good pass there from Taylor. It went to Linda, the ball has gone loose and Stewart's got it for Newcastle.
If anything, it's Parramatta who are rushing things at the moment, but they seem determined to move the ball wide. They're not going to take Newcastle on in the middle.
Linda's getting himself involved early on for the Parramatta Eels, isn't he? And that's Thorne.
Taken it up a few times.
And Thorne, a former Eel himself. Townsend. Now Butterfield. Good tackle. Paul Taylor. Now here's Frendo back in amongst the forwards. He wished he hadn't. Townsend. Penalty against Parramatta. Up inside the 5. Robbie Tew comes up, and can he be a man who creates history and scored the Newcastle Knights' first ever Winfield Cup premiership points. So Tew probably kicking into the breeze, and you can see actually the goalposts are moving about a bit there. That's the wind that's blowing them as Tew comes in. There it is. He struck it pretty well. It's there. The Newcastle Knights open their account with a penalty goal, and the Knights are leading the Eels by 2-0. We've had only 4 minutes play, and what a great lift that'll be for the Newcastle Knights. There's Steve Ellett restarting play. Butterfield, Frendo with the ball now, running it back strongly. Good run from Frendo. I suppose the other thing about trials too, Warren, is that of course a lot of the players, you said individuals, are trialling for spots. That's the idea of them. Of course, most of these Parramatta players are seasoned internationals. Well,
in a trial, you have to look after yourself a little more than the team. You have to get into the team, and that's the aim.
Now that's Michael McKiernan taking the ball up, former Smithtown and country player. Has played on the coalfields in the last couple of years. And Smithtown, a great nursery in years gone by in Group 2 of footballers. Frendo's kick is going to go out on the full. Way out on the full.
And here's a chance for Parramatta with the feed to the scrum on the 22, on the attack. Peter Sterling in action for the first time for Parramatta this year. And what a key player he'll be for them right throughout the day.
Because he's been out with injury too, Warren. This is his first game back.
The ankle injury, but he seems to be moving quite freely. But I think Peter Sterling on one leg could be the man of the match.
Almost made a mess of that. And gee, he's been given a bit for his trouble. This will be a penalty. Steve Walters came in and decided after Boyd had the lock forward had cleaned Sterling up or made sure that he wasn't going to go anywhere with it. But watch little Steve Walters come in and remind him who his opposite number was. There's Sterling, not grabbing it. Now Boyd comes in. Now watch this. There it is. He didn't miss.
Bit of Tommy Raudonikis in Steve Walters there, letting his opposition halfback know he's on the field. Steve Walters has been playing very well lately for the Knights, a local lad, and it's good to see the local talent in there in a couple of the positions. That's what they'll be looking forward to in the future, because the Knights really are an area of rugby league right through their veins, the Newcastle area.
Ella to try and level the scores. There's the kick, and he's got it. And so Ella levels it up for the Parramatta Eels. 7 minutes into the game, and it's the Newcastle Knights 2, the Parramatta Eels 2. Taylor, Sterling, that's Peter Ford, and that's good defence from the Knights. 20 metres out. Now that's Wynn. Wynn couldn't get his pass away. Had Sterling in support. Mosley, Taylor, last tackle. Ella, I should say, that's Ericsson with it. It comes away now towards Chalmers. He's trying to force his way over. He's across the corner post, and the referee says no try.
Great cover defence, 3 players across in the corner. Good work by the Parramatta backs, moving it wide.
Now here's Chalmers, who's very strong. Look at this.
Just held up on his back and rolled over the corner post.
David, the Knights backs seem to be moving up, but they don't seem to be moving up with any great purpose for particularly nailing one man. And I think if they give the likes of Kenny and Ella the room to move, they'll be exploited out wide all day.
Knock on. It's Hanrahan who couldn't get the pass away.
Trying a little too hard to get it away. It simply wasn't on. There was no one really in support, and the pass was always going to be in danger.
Sterling to put the ball in this scrum. What the fans doing, but that whistle was very clear. Kenny's got Ericsson in support. Ericsson in a bit of open space. He's over the quarter line. Ericsson will score. Ericsson races into the in-goal area and puts it down. And that's the first try to Parramatta, and put that down to Brett Kenny. Beautiful running from Kenny. And Ericsson running to the gap said, see you later. It's 6-2 to the Eels.
That's the 3rd time Kenny has tried to get outside his opposite man, and this time he did it. Slipped it. He pulled 2 in, then got Ericsson into the gap. Robbie Chu chased. He didn't have the pace to get Ericsson, who's a flyer. Mick Cronin's got a big rap on Ericsson, and look at him go. Took every advantage of that opportunity created by Brett Kenny. Here it is, Kenny on the outside of Robbie Chu. Gets into the gap, pulls 2 towards him, slips the pass away perfectly. Chu chases Ericsson, but he didn't have a chance, and the winger went inside to help out, but he wasn't needed. Ericsson was clear by 5 metres.
So here's Ella, a chance to make it 3 out of 3, and he's got it. And so Parramatta are leading Newcastle by 10 points to 2. Sterling. There's the kick for that eastern touchline. In fact, it bounces back in, and Frendo has it. Up there is Ford now. Can Frendo outrun them? He's running straight across field, and Taylor came across, and so too did Kenny, and they wrapped him up. Now here's a good run, and look at this. Here's a chance for the Knights. Oh, he's run away from the supports. He had 3 men with him on the inside, and Quinton just turned a blind eye to them and went on his own and lost the ball as well.
He made the mistake at the end, but showed plenty of pace to burst away.
And here's Quinton. He is very fast. He was the fastest man at St George last year, but he had 3 men with him on the inside and didn't look. Parramatta taking it up. Win. So the errors, both sides making plenty of them during this first half. Newcastle making more, and at vital areas, because they've given away penalties which have been within kicking distance. Now Parramatta have made the mistake, and Newcastle have come up with the ball.
There's another error against Parramatta, and this error count seems surprising. In a way, it seems as if Newcastle have made more errors. They've certainly made some more vital ones generally that have they haven't been able to get their attack moving at all. And here we see them again pinned down in close. The forwards just aren't really coming forward. There doesn't seem to be that much organisation. Certainly no real skills being shown.
Knights trying to work it back towards their own quarter line. Now that's Glenn Miller trying to get on the outside of Ericsson. Not easy, because Ericsson
It's all one-up stuff at the moment from the Knights.
Now Chew kicking for touch. The ball bouncing towards Chalmers. He did pretty well to take that. Back across the halfway line. And he's managed to get it 10 metres inside Newcastle's territory. 10 minutes to go till half-time. Wynn goes the blind side. Wynn trying to set up Ericsson. He's got that pass away. Now Ericsson down to the quarter line. He's looking for support. Mosley there about half a metre too late. He's in a dummy half now. Taylor, Sterling, and that's Peter Ford. And Ford really dumped into the turf there. Sterling again. Kenny, beautiful pass to Ella. Ella tried to get back on the inside and set up Growth on the outside, but good defence from Newcastle.
Ella charging for the gap, and Kenny put the pass there for him.
Now Sterling, the little grubber kick again, but that's picked off by Boyd. And Boyd will get up and play it. Frendo. He's got that pass away. It wasn't a good pass to get away, but Townsend's managed to pinch a few more metres. But that's where they're making the errors. And there's a bad one from Butterfield. It's going without it was Linder, but he's managed to fall on the loose ball. And they've got the ball again, Parramatta. Ericsson. Good tackle from McKiernan. Mosley. Taylor, a dummy half. Forward.
Yeah, they're using that.
The dummy.
Good walk.
Bobby Linden was hoping he would have got that. He was running towards the gap. Wynn, Sterling, Kenny. Sterling's got it back. The pass to Ella. Ella's got it away to Growth. Growth versus Frendo. Frendo and Growth. Growth's got it in the in-goal area. And I'd say it's a try. The referee says yes.
Magic hands from Steve Ella. Had the ball in his hands for a split second and fed the pass. Eric Growth making no mistake. He'll enjoy getting over the line again. Parramatta skip away now to the lead that they've really been looking for. They've been very close a couple of times, held up in the far corner, but no mistake this time. Look at Ella here, juggled the ball and slipped it immediately to Growth, gave him the room to take Frendo on. No chance, the power of Eric Growth. Good attempt from Frendo, he tried to get underneath the ball. Ella slipping it away after Kenny, it was first of all Sterling moving the ball to the blind side, and good work from Growth to get it down. Once more, here goes Sterling. The quick pass comes around Kenny with a double around, then juggled by Ella. Eric Growth wearing the headgear. Look at Frendo, came underneath him, swept the arm up underneath him, trying to get to the ball, but no chance of stopping Eric Growth.
Ella, the kick, it looks pretty good. Is it what? What a great kick from the sideline. And now Parramatta have skipped right away with this. They're leading the Newcastle Knights by 16 points to 2 with about 8 minutes to go in the first half. Parramatta with the ball, 10 metres out from the Newcastle line as it comes away. Sterling, he cuts out when it goes to Kenny. Now it comes to Ford. And Ford only 8 or 9 metres out from the Newcastle line. Sterling. There's Ella. He's got it away, and Mosley did well to grab that because it wasn't a good pass. Taylor, Sterling. Sterling, the shot at field goal is wide. Well, it may not have been wide. It might have gone through, Peter, for something that Craig Johnston would have got a goal for, but it certainly didn't go over the bar.
And the let-off too, the pressure right off now because they come back to the quarter line for a 22 tap.
And there it is, and I'm right. It would have been a goal in soccer.
Sterling looking for the point just before half-time.
So here is Townsend from dummy half. Oh, the pass has gone wild, but Stewart's managed to clean it up. They keep it going through Thorne. On the inside, Walters. That was Ford, but he got away with it.
It went the wrong way. Should have come outside. They had men there.
Here's Boyd. Now, what can they do? McKiernan.
The Knights supporters really getting behind their side when they have the ball, David, but it's noticeable that there's a little bit of an air of nervousness when Parramatta have the pill.
Penalty, and that was really a real accident, I suppose. You couldn't blame Stewart for falling on it after it bounced off the legs of the other Newcastle player.
Well, I don't know, David. I think he should have known he was offside that time. I think he had time to avoid it. If we see the replay, we might just get another idea, but the ball came down, it touched his hands, went back onto a fellow Newcastle player, then bounced forward, and he was caught offside.
I suppose that's why he was thinking about it, in case the ref didn't see it, because the half-time siren has just sounded. So I'd say that Parramatta are just going to take this and hoist it, or are they? Wide pass, it comes away to Wynn. Wynn's got it away, it's loose. Now can Newcastle capitalise? No. Ericsson's got it, and Ericsson's tackled, and that will be half-time. Yes, he's missed a few tackles today too, Robbie Tew, but he is playing against the master, isn't he, when Brett Kenny really has played him off a break so far in this game. And there's Kenny again getting involved, and it's Ericsson who's got the beautiful pass in the end. Isn't he enjoying playing outside Brett Kenny?
Ericsson is playing very well, and he looks like being a danger man for every side Parramatta play, with men inside him who can create the chance for a runner as strong as him.
Well, I know when he came down to Parramatta, there were a lot of clubs who were disappointed because there were a lot chasing him. Played New South Wales under-19s last year, played in the city teams. And that's David Thorne taking the ball up. Townsend into dummy half. These runners all overran him.
Steve Ella is screaming for support to come across and spread the defence. Here comes Kenny now. Trouble is Newcastle aren't really using the back line.
Boyd down the centre. Townsend, Walters, Tew. A little kick over the top, and Hanrahan's got it. Hanrahan looking for support. Out it goes to Quinton. Quinton will score, or will he? No! What a great tackle! Brian Quinton, who has speed to burn, couldn't get round Eric Grove, and what a magnificent tackle. A good kick. Look at this. Tew, a little kick over the top. Hanrahan, a magnificent juggling performance. Now look at Quinton. He is a real sprinter, but look at Eric Grove. What a great tackle.
That was a superb piece of football by both teams. Newcastle finally making a good break through Tew with Hanrahan, good ball skills and a brilliant pass out to the winger Quinton, but you can't take it away from Eric Grove. Beautiful tackle.
Well, Quinton is a speedster, I can tell you that, and he managed to get on the outside of Eric Grove, but it shows you that Eric hasn't lost any speed.
Growth last year when he was on the field looked to be lumbering a little, but he is really taking off and moving quickly across the turf this year.
How would you like to be one of the incumbent Australian wingers seeing Growth in this form? That pass has gone loose. Kenny's gone without it, but Ella hasn't. Ella's pass over the top's gone loose. It's gone to ground. The referee said it's a knock-on, which is right. Otherwise, you would have put the glasses down, because with Brett Kenny in the open spaces, he would have been in and scored and yet another try.
So many times a gap appears when there's a mistake. The ball going loose there and Kenny picking it up. But earlier, the ball went loose, the pass bounced, and suddenly Ella bursting onto it to go straight through.
Now that's Steve Walters. That should be a Shepherd. It is. I had to feel sorry for them there, but there wasn't much the referee or Steve Walters could do about this. They just they mistimed their runs.
Walters tried to cover up the situation, but there was nothing much he could do.
Suppose if he stopped, there was a chance.
Obviously, he was supposed to pick up that runner who'd moved too early.
Parramatta now with the ball.
Replacement warming up for Newcastle in the tunnel, David. We might see a change shortly. Peter Malcolm.
There he is, number 28, Peter Malcolm. Sterling, Kenny. Now that's Ericsson. He see that? Could almost stand in that tackle in the end and throw the pass. It was just a little bit off balance.
Parramatta had a two-man overlap if he could get it away.
Sterling's grubber kick has bounced off one play. Here comes Chalmers and Frendo. Oh, what a good bit of football from Frendo. And in the end, he's done very well to even stay in the field of play.
Great
he gets
work.
100% in both counts there.
Great work by Frendo. Sacrificed his body to get onto that ball, took any risk. He wasn't worried about injury and then managed to stay in the field of play.
What did you get? Two first levels in the old HSC? And this time they're all offside. They've got a kick for touch, haven't they? What would you do? Former Western Suburbs captain?
Well, Robbie Chew's going to kick for goal, but 16-2. I think that I would have started to look for a try. What are we? How many minutes have we had in this half now?
15 minutes
hard looking
gone.
at the clock. 15 gone.
25 to go.
14 points. If he puts this over, it'll be 12. Well, 2 converted tries. Maybe it's a good decision to go for the goal. See, that's the sort of calculations you have to make out on the field.
Have a look at this. Now, what a magnificent bit of football that was. Now, look at this, the way he makes sure that Ella can't drag him into touch. So, 2 good pieces of football there from Glenn Frendo.
It's an important kick to keep this game alive.
There's Alan McMahon, and there's the kick. It looks pretty good. It's there! Good kick from Robbie Chew. So he's kicked 2 out of 2. He's narrowed the margin to just 2 converted tries. Parramatta leading 16-4 with 24 minutes to go. Mosley, Ericsson over the halfway. Taylor, Sterling. That's Ella, back in amongst the forwards. Good run from Steve Ella.
Ella was forced to straighten up and come back towards Sterling because the defence was swooping up on him.
Last tackle against Parramatta. Blindside Sterling. There's going to be a penalty, and it's against the outside backs. It's against Hanrahan for being inside the 5. And Sterling, I think, will kick for touch.
That shows the lack of confidence of the Newcastle outside backs that they can get up on Parramatta and contain them. They have crept a few times earlier in the game, getting up in front of the referee, and they're worried about the pace of the Parramatta backs.
Mosley is 11 metres out from the Newcastle line. Sterling, he finds Vernon. Now it goes away to Chalmers. Chalmers for the line. Chalmers, he's got a lot of strength, and he's held up only a metre or so out. Newcastle under a lot of pressure. Mosley, away it comes now to Wynn. Wynn trying to get out of the tackle. Can he get the ball down? Yes, try. Peter Wynn scores the try. And Parramatta are leading 20 points to 4.
Peter Wynn with plenty of determination and the big extension of the arm to reach out over the line. From that position, only 5 metres out, if you charge at the line one up with plenty of strength and determination, well, the try's there. Ball comes out to Wynn. He gets just on outside of Robbie Chew, who couldn't quite hang on, did his best, but the stretch from the tall Peter Wynn over the line was all that he needed. He didn't actually miss the tackle, but he couldn't knock him backwards. There should have been more forwards in there. They must have seen Peter Wynn hunting for the ball. A simple try, but they're all 6 points of very effective work from Peter Wynn.
Peter Wynn in his 10th season with Parramatta, and look at that, it's a good try. Steve Ella about to add the extras. And there it is, he's got them. 2 points for Parramatta, and they now lead by 22 points to 4. Well, can Newcastle put a try on the board in their first Winfield Cup match, as it's Carter who plays it forward and tries to straighten up. Boyd in a dummy half. Boyd again. Carter. Steve Walters. Stewart turns but couldn't get the pass away. In fact, I think Vernon stolen the ball. Have to wait for the referee. The referee will say, I'm certain Vernon pinched it, but the referee didn't notice it. Maybe I'm wrong. Carter. I think I was far away from the mark. They move it quickly now, the Knights, and the little kick through. And here's a chance for Hanrahan, and Quinton through very quickly. Quinton's got it. Has he scored? I think he's taken the corner flag, but the referee said no, he didn't get it down anyway.
Didn't manage to force the ball in the in-goal area there, but he showed tremendous speed, bursting past Delroy here. Here he comes, chasing through, and Delroy coming across, and Quinton worried about the corner post and also trying to get hold of the ball and get it down, and in the end failed. Asked the referee how about it, but definitely didn't get it down. But the trouble for him, he simply couldn't just worry about the ball that time. He also had to think about the corner post, and he was trying to keep in the field of play and get the ball down.
He certainly showed us then just how quickly he can run.
He's a flyer. Sam Stewart to the sideline.
And Teo Rapati is the man who's replaced Stewart. Steve Sharp plays the ball, runs into Butterfield. and also George Mann, about 9 metres out from this Parramatta quarter line. And Parramatta, who led 16-2 at half-time, are leading 22 points to 4. I dare say the first game of the year, the players were entitled to get a bit tired in the second half. Sharp. That's Ericsson. And that's a good tackle. Hanrahan affecting the tackle. Almost on the halfway line. Taylor. And there's the kick from Taylor over the quarter line down Newcastle's end of the field. Frendo has to go almost back to his own line to get that. Now here's up there is Chalmers, and also there was the man who kicked the ball, Taylor. 12 metres out from that Newcastle line. Miller running it back towards his own quarter line. And should say, that's Malcolm. And Scott Carter, the hooker, trying the chip and chase, but it's Kenny who's gathered it on the full. This is danger for Parramatta as Kenny stops. He gets at the Growth. Here comes big Eric Growth. Eric Growth. Eric Growth. He slips the pass and Ella has scored. Oh, what a magnificent try. All the Kangaroos were involved in one earlier that Growth scored. And there we saw the combination of 3 more Kangaroos. Kenny, Growth and Ella, and it's 26-4.
If Parramatta can keep this back line on the field this year, there's going to be joy for their supporters. But Brett Kenny, the man must have eyes in the back of his head. He certainly has a sixth sense. Look at the way he spins around here. Coming up now, he spins around and finds the support. Growth may have called for it. Growth on the burst. What better sight is there than rugby league? And may have just about made it to the line himself, but didn't take a chance. Unselfishly gives it on to Steve Ella, backing up perfectly in position. Ella, all the time in the world. Ella, did I say? Kenny, I should say. There it is, Eric Growth bursting onto the ball, comes to the fullback, pushes him off, no worries at all, and inside was Ella. Probably Growth did have to get the ball away, and Ella perfectly positioned.
Here's Steve Ella. He's already kicked 5 from 5. This to make it 6 from 6, and he makes it. And so the score now is 28 points to 4 in favour of Parramatta. And Cronulla Sutherland still remain the only new team to win their opening premiership game since, of course, the opening matches back in 1908. That was when they defeated East 11-5 back in 1967. The Gold Coast, of course, get the chance to change that tonight at the Chris Cunningham Field, when the Gold Coast take on Canterbury Bankstown. And Brisbane will get the chance tomorrow night at Lang Park.
I'm sure the Gold Coast will give a good account of themselves tonight, but I'd say the Brisbane Broncos are the team that may equal that record of Cronulla, if anyone out of these 3 new teams is going to do it.
And Mick Delroy has just left the field. I think Parramatta are playing with 12 men at the moment, but it's all over. And Mick with that injured arm.
Well, the clock stopped, and there's Barnes who's got that pass away, and Ford going up over the halfway. Back it comes to Ella. He slips the pass away. That's Laurie. Laurie looking for a runner. He can't get the pass away, but what good football from Parramatta. And I don't think they're finished with yet, Parramatta. They've got a sniff of more points on the board. That's Taylor, and he can't get it away to Barnes. Ella into dummy half. Blindside, that's Wynn. Wynn still going. Can he get the pass away? He can't. Well, he can keep the movement going. And in the end, it's Ford who ran out of room on the touchline. Last tackle, Sharp, Taylor. The grubber kick for the in-goal area. Walter's getting back there. But in the end, the kick will beat them all over the dead ball line.
I was saying at the beginning of the game that trial form makes very little is of very little importance, and when you look at it last week, how did Newcastle manage to roll Manly so easily? And Parramatta had no trial form.
And there's Butterfield still going down the centre. He's got the pass away, but he's knocked it on. Hard luck, and in fact Kenny's picked it up. There's bad luck there for Scott Carter, who was back on the inside. Perhaps if they had a couple of backs up there instead of a prop and a hooker, they might have done something with that. Newcastle.
It'll give them a lot of confidence when they finally do get the ball over the line, Newcastle.
Ericsson.
Just getting back to trial form, I doubt whether I would believe Manly's form of last week going into tomorrow's match. I'm sure they'll acquit themselves much better, though. They're up against a good side. There's no doubt that the Brisbane Broncos are going to be a force in this competition.
There's some good games still to go this weekend. Of course, besides that Gold Coast game tonight, there's another one at Seaford between Canberra and Illawarra. And there's full time in this opening match of the 1988 Winfield Cup Premiership on Saturday, with Parramatta running out winners by 28 points to 4. After half-time, they led by 16 points to 2.